So, hello everyone, good evening. It's Sai Krishna again. Welcome to the second video of the series of PYQs of a 2025 paper. If you haven't yet seen the first video, you can go through the other one which I have uploaded yesterday, meaning May 18th. So, we have done till 20 questions. Now, we'll look at the 21st question. So, I'll try to make it faster today. Consider the following statements about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The UPSC Prelims paper is very much enjoyable because of the questions like this. So it's not straight away memory based question. It's a bit analytical and understanding test kar raha idhar. So how we look at Raja Ram Mohan Roy, his ideals, ये ब्रह्मो समाज, सती prohibition act, ये सब ठीक है. These are fact based and these are great contributions, but understanding Raja Ram Mohan Roy as a person, what his ideals were, that's what UPSC wants to test here, and it is a pretty simple question if you are really studying history as our own past, the past of the stories of our own ancestors, the knowledge systems that we inherit from. So he possessed great love and respect for the traditional philosophical systems of the East. Yes, he possessed respect for both systems of the East and West. Wherever rationality is there, he used to incline towards that. So he desired his countrymen to accept the rational and scientific approach rather than believing in superstitions and the principle of human dignity and social equality of all men. This is a straightforward question. This एक बार भी पढ़ेंगे, even without revising, if we understand what we are reading from the history, it is very easy to answer this question. So answer is both 1 and 2. And that's also the answer according to the key, official UPSC key, option C. So now question number 22. Consider the following subjects with regard to non-cooperation program. It is talking about non-cooperation program. So boycott of law courts and foreign cloth. Yes, I think yes. Observance of strict non-violence. Yes, that's the passive resistance that we used to do by not cooperating with the British. Retention of titles. We during non-cooperation movement, we didn't burn our shops, we didn't conduct dharnas and all. So it's just symbolically burning cloth, foreign cloth, all these things we have done. So I think non-violence is in question here because of that particular fact. So मैं confused था exam में भी. Retention of titles and honors without using them in public. This I am not very sure of. Establishment of panchayats for settling disputes. Yes, we have not cooperated with the British law and order system. We haven't resorted to British justice system and British courts. British inherited the organized way of delivery of justice. वो सब से हम हट गए थे. Even the universities, we have established indigenous universities which are based on our own knowledge systems, and वो सब भी हुआ था. So 4 is 100% sure. I am doubtful about these two. So if I am giving prelims again, I would mark only 3 as the answer because if I am not sure about these two, I'll just make a guess of 50% likelihood of being correct. And historically UPSC also all the 4 or only one sahi hona is rare, and during my exam 2025 I was somehow marked all the 4 thinking these 2 might be correct. So if I am giving again, this is my learning and I'll mark only 3 as the answer, and it is the right answer. So you can do the fact check yourself. So here I am trying to just show how I was thinking during the exam. मतलब 100% चीज़ें हमको पता नहीं रहते, right? So this moving on to next question, question number 23. This is straight away from PYQ. 2016 में पूछा गया था, I think, if I am sure. It is 2016 question, Araghatta. It's straightforward from PYQs. This is one more reason why doing a PYQ becomes doing PYQs becomes instrumental in our prelims preparation. Even mains में भी repetition देख सकते हैं हम लोग. इवन दिस ऑल्सो महेंद्र वर्मन के बारे में पास्ट में भी पूछा गया था इन सम ईयर. आई डोंट रिमेंबर एग्जैक्टली, not exactly his titles but in different ways, some in from the context of Pallavas, to which dynasty he belongs to. So this is also a straightforward question. Who among the following rulers in ancient India had assumed the titles Mata Vilasa, Vichitra Chitta and Gunabhadra? I think Gunabhadra, Gunabhara nahi hai, I don't know. So yeah, this is also a straightforward question. Moving on to 25, Fakian and the Chairis pilgrim travelled to India during the reign of Chandragupta II. This is also a memory based question. The important thing I want to highlight here is I haven't read this during my preparation of UPSC, but I think 7th standard में social textbook में आया हुआ ये मेरे को याद आया. So again re-emphasizing, keep your mind open. You might have come across this knowledge at any point of time in your life, in any setting, किसी भी context में you might have come across this knowledge, any knowledge. Even pressure cooker वाला question जो 2021 में पूछा गया था. So common sensical. Even we have this question of fourth question about cigarette butts, which among these contains plastic. These commonsensical questions, these questions which can be answerable from your past knowledge. I think this is here the purpose of UPSC gets perfectly satisfied by testing the general awareness of a person, of a candidate. Schooling अच्छा हुआ हो, there is more likelihood that he or she might turn to be a more responsible citizen. So yeah, this is about 25th question. Now 26th. Who among the following led a successful military campaign against the kingdom of Sri Vijaya, the powerful maritime state? So we all know Cholas के time पे ये हुआ था because of the extraordinary naval power, which is even taken as a case study these days. The traditional knowledge, the naval specialization that Cholas had, and even other dynasties also had. But yes, this is Chola. I remember that it is Rajendra Chola. But even by knowing the surface fact that it happened during Chola time, it's sufficient to answer this question. This comes under an easy category. So today we are coming across most of the history questions that were asked into the 2025. So next 27. With reference to ancient India, consider the following pairs. They have also mentioned the time period, territorial region. So I am not very sure of this answer, which is why I have answered it in a second round, because I could arrive at some extent of informed guess. So Cambodia, I think it corresponded to northern part of India, Kashmir and Uttarakhand. This part of India, Cambodia, as the fair memory that I have about this. Asmaka, I'm not very sure. Avanti not certainly in and around Odisha. This thing I was sure. Avanti was somewhere in the northern or northwestern part of India. Okay, Kosala. Sarayu, where is Sarayu river? It is in this Ayodhya, as I remember. So Sarayu passes through Ayodhya. So this is the general knowledge that I am using. I have visited Ayodhya once, so I came to know that Sarayu passes through Ayodhya. So Kosala, I am not very sure of it, but this might be true. Kosala belonged to the northern part of the Mahajanapadas, this area. So this I am sure to some extent. This I am not at all aware. So this also. So, and referring to UPSC's historical tendency towards putting only two, and I have at least one correct in this, and one of these three might be correct. This was the approach I have used to guess this answer. So even those who get the rank 1 every year, they may not be able to answer every question in a perfectly logically sound manner. So even if you come across any such questions during the exam, don't lose your confidence. You just think that the others also might be making guesses, such guesses. If you are risky enough, if you want to take a bit of risk, +2 and minus 0.66. So I think you can go for it. This is, I would say, this is partially informed guess. I think this is the right answer. 27B. Yes. So moving on to 28. I answered it in the first round. The first Gandharva Mahavidyalaya, a music training school, was set up in 1901 by Vishnu Digambar Palaskar. This was a guess, and I have answered it in the first round. Somewhere, some intuition suggested me that it might be Gwalior, because the Gwalior Gharana is famous. So I didn't pay much attention to this question because this music and Gwalior correlated somehow. So apparently it's wrong. The right answer is answer D. If I have given a bit of more of thought to this, Lahore is the odd one out in these options. So there might be more likelihood of UPSC asking something like this to show that the historically India, the entity of India, the cultural entity of India existed till the western border of Pakistan, till the border of Iran. So that's about this question. So I have made it wrong in the exam also. So yeah, things go wrong. 29th, Ashokan inscription suggests that Pradeshika, Rajuka, Yukta were important offices at the. This was also a blind guess that I have made in the third round. It is apparently district level administration. Someone who is from North India might be able to better answer this question. Because Pradeshika. So this somehow corresponds to the district level. I realized it later. So I think your belongingness, जैसे मैं गुटी tarantula का I knew, I had a clue that this is this is a spider and this is from rarely available in forest, because I was from a place close by to Guti, but someone from North India can answer this question better. So this is how you keep your mind open. You take you resort to any knowledge that you can use in the exam. There is no limit to the books that you have read, the material that you have come across, and the things that you have solved. वो limit नहीं करना during the actual exam. Be open, like 360-degree. Be open. So next question number 30. Consider the following statements in respect of non-cooperation movement. The Congress declared the attainment of Swaraj by all legitimate and peaceful means to be its objective. मैंने modern history revise नहीं किया था, so I answered it wrong. I answered it as neither 1 nor 2, but the right answer is both 1 and 2. So this is again a factual question. By all means and legitimate. Yes, Swaraj was declared apparently during the non-cooperation movement. It was to be implemented in stages with civil disobedience and non-payment of taxes for the next stage. Only if Swaraj did not come within a year and the government resorted to repression. Yeah, ये वाला part सही है, because we have seen arrests during non-cooperation movement after this Khilafat. But yeah, this is answerable if you revise mota. Even crash course revision notes किसी की भी, so you take it up. These things will be mentioned. What is the agenda of non-cooperation movement? वो तो mention हुआ होता है. So that's how revision helps. Had I revised it, I would have answered it correct. Right? Next question number 31. So we enter into economy here. So after the exam, when I was checking my answers with the key, I have written all this, what worked for me. So here I have written open mind because I could recall it from my 7th standard. This helped. I could answer this rightly because of some mocks, the experience of mocks, answering this in जल्दी में मैंने गलत आंसर कर दिया. This is the Telugu version of जल्दी. Yeah, this went right because of PYQs. Varna, I would probably leave this question if I have not known, have not come across. ये भी revision के वजह से. So after every mock you can analyze actually to how things went well also, instead of completely focusing on what went wrong. ये भी कर सकते हैं to understand कि like what works and to focus on those things sufficiently. So 31, economy. With reference to investments, consider the following. How many of the above are treated as alternative investment funds? Okay, so see, straight away, bonds and stocks are conventional investment options. They are well regulated. पूरा regulatory ecosystem है, SEBI and even the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, RBI. There are a lot of things which regulate these the transactions in these. But hedge funds and venture capital में there is more of discretionary knowledge systems and discretionary expertise that people use to choose to invest in some startup through venture capital or to form a conglomerate of investors and invest in funds by hedging on them. So alternative investment funds, I didn't need any specialized knowledge. I could make an well informed guess. मैं informed guess नहीं बोल सकता हूँ, well informed guess, because I know about the conventional investment options which are non-conventional, can be termed as alternative investment funds. So that's how I answered as only 2. Right. So this is how your generic knowledge helps you. ठीक है, तो if you are playing around with stock market, ये सब समझ में आते हैं. You need not exactly study any material for this. Okay, 32. Which of the following are the sources of income for the Reserve Bank of India? This came under controversy. So I have also marked it as option D. I have also thought printing and distributing currency notes, the seniorage जो भी है वो comes under RBI income, but apparently that goes into the government of India's account. So you can watch for the specialist opinions about such questions. So ऐसे 1-2 questions होते हैं in the actual exam where the consensus, UPSC departs from the consensus, UPSC departs from the generally perceived answer. So उन 1-2 question के लिए you need not beat your head. So yeah, I am moving ahead. Question number 33, since I have also answered it wrong. With reference to the government of India, consider the following information. So Enforcement Directorate, EDA. Yeah. So I think this belonged to I was not very sure that if it belonged to Home Affairs, but in hindsight now I think if I answer it now, I think I'll mark it as right. And Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, I think it is from finance, but customs, it's unlikely that revenue intelligence is limited to provisions of Customs Act. ये भी इसमें हो सकता है, fugitive economic offenders, any law with larger ambit as opposed to limited to customs. So Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. Okay, this seems right. This seems wrong, and this seems right. Home Affairs, ED. So I think I have answered it as B, and apparently the right answer is A. So this is how I made a pitfall. So this, I was not sure about this, but in the exam I marked it as wrong, but somehow I have inclined towards UPSC's past trend of only 2 as the answer generally in such cases. तो ये वाला 100% of the times work नहीं करता. And someone who is knowledge wise aware of these things, it's very easy for them to answer such questions. And general understanding, general awareness by looking at the newspapers repeatedly, anyone might be able to figure out these aspects, these options. So that's how newspaper reading becomes very important. Not just direct questions, not just for the direct questions you need to read newspapers, but for the gist, the understanding of how things move, how the current affairs, that there is a reason the current affairs, the general knowledge of the recent times is known as current affairs. So the how the business as usual goes. So कहीं ना कहीं कोई ईडी रेड हुआ होगा, मिनिस्ट्री होम मिनिस्टर ने कुछ स्टेटमेंट दिया होगा, ऐसा like customs or revenue intelligence might have come across any suspicious financial transaction. So ऐसे ऐसे चीज़ों में ऐसे चीज़ें समझ में आते रहते हैं. So have answered it wrong. You see how you can answer it right by reading the newspapers. There is not much you can do about this. इतना कुछ cover नहीं कर सकते. So number 34, RBI mandates all the listed companies in India to submit a business. Companies mandates RBI sustainability. I don't think these are related. And companies को regulate करने वाला RBI तो नहीं है. Either Ministry of Corporate Affairs, if the companies are listed on the stock exchanges, SEBI might be taking care of this. And I very well remember BRSR was released by SEBI. Even if you don't know this fact, by correlating these things, you can figure out that one is wrong. And now we are left with option B or D. In India, a company submitting a BRSR makes disclosures in the report that are largely non-financial in nature. Yes, they don't make the business responsibility and sustainability report, which is a subjective information, although figures होते हैं, like investments in social responsibility, CSR, investments in the sustainable sustainability sphere, like afforestation initiatives like that. So these are subjective information, they're non-financial in nature. Balance sheet नहीं बनता है इन चीज़ों का. So I think this is a easy option to mark it as right. So 34 का answer है B. Yes, this is the right answer. Next, moving on to 35. In India, income from allied agricultural activities like poultry farming and wool rearing in rural areas is exempted from any tax. It's any tax. Poultry farming and wool rearing in rural areas. This is questionable. I was not very sure about this. In India, rural agricultural land is not considered a capital asset under the provisions of Income Tax Act. क्यों नहीं भाई? So I think it is a capital asset. इसके capital returns पे शायद pay करना पड़ता. But this statement 1 seems to be more wrong to me. Any tax, it's an extreme statement. And there is a PYQ, as far as I remember, where agricultural income is specified, where dairy is not exempt from income tax, the income from dairy farming. So I think poultry is also an allied activity. Poultry farming लोग commercial scale पे करते हैं. They they even export this poultry, and they maintain. There are companies which proper registered companies, incorporated companies which handle the poultry. This thing like Suguna. So this knowledge gives me that any tax से तो exempt नहीं होंगे. So 1 is more surely wrong. So there is only one option where 1 is wrong. 35D, I think. Yes, 35D is the right answer. So here the general knowledge and knowledge of PYQs has helped. right? So 36, consider the following statements. India has joined the Mineral Security Partnership as a member. Yes, India is a resource-rich country in all the 30 critical minerals that it has identified. This is an extreme statement. Had we been so much abundant in all the 30 critical minerals, we need not have be depending on China and Australia and even lithium triangle for the import of these things. So 2 is clearly wrong and it is straightforward question. You need not even have to read the option 3, I guess. Right, so C is the right answer. 37. As regards returns from an investment in a company, generally bondholders are considered to be relatively at lower risk than stockholders. Yes, this is the right statement. So option D is eliminated. Bondholders are lenders to a company, whereas stockholders are its owners, because stockholders own equity. They have the voting. If you buy stocks, you will be receiving a quarterly statement, the dividend distribution के time पे you will be receiving mail about e-voting. So you need not read any material for this. Your general understanding of the things that you do might fetch you marks here. For repayment purpose, bondholders are prioritized over stockholders by a company. I have read it in Shankar Ganesh. I think this is right. So lower risk का बात करते हैं. So lending or owning versus risk. Not very sure if I can correlate them, but वो हो भी सकता है. So I have answered it as B for this reason. So so the statement questions are tricky. I have answered it wrong in the actual exam. So this is perfectly right. All right, and this explains statement 1. I was doubtful of this statement. So statement 3 explains because I have read it in Shankar Ganesh. It's knowledge based, and bondholders are prioritized obviously before equity holders who are stockholders. So I think these two are correlated. Hence, so if I am linking this and this, so these two are also linked, because bondholders are lenders to a company, whereas stockholders are its owners. So whoever owns something takes more risk than whoever borrows something from someone, because he is answerable to the one whom he is borrowing from. So general knowledge and general commonsensical उसके हिसाब से this turns out to be right. So the answer is A. Right answer is A. I have marked it wrong. If I am giving this here, there is more likelihood that I will answer it. So yes. Next, question number 38. India accounts for a very large portion of all equity option contracts traded globally, thus exhibiting a great boom. Yeah, this seems to be correct. India's stock market has grown rapidly in the recent past, even overtaking Hong Kong's at some point of time. Yes, in 2024 this might have happened. So general trends के हिसाब से I have bought some stocks, कभी कभी ऐसे किया है. So I fairly know how Nifty fares. कभी कभी देखा है, not regularly. So you need not be a stock market buff to figure this out, right? The general news देखते हुए भी markets are in bullish in 2024. ये figure out कर सकते हैं. There is no regulatory body either to warn the small investors about the risk of options trading or to act on unregistered financial. Indeed है भाई, SEBI. So, and SEBI is doing a very good job in ensuring the mediators, that stockbrokers, the influencers are handing out the right information about the things, and the small investors are not falling into traps of the stockbrokers. There is a proper regulations on which Zerodha, Grow, and all these apps operate. There is strict compliance, this thing. So I think 1 and 2 is the answer. So this is also based on generic knowledge. Yes, 1 and 2 is the answer. Generic knowledge which any citizen might be aware of, any well informed citizen might be aware of. So ये कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ने से या current affairs रिवाइज करते रहने से नहीं मिलता. It's about a general understanding of the things around you, right? 39. Circular economy reduces the emissions of greenhouse gases, obviously. Circular economy reduces the use of raw materials as inputs, obviously. Circular economy reduces wastage in the production process. I think it is right, because plastic ही मान लीजिए, to produce plastic from hydrocarbons or anything, if we are producing from the actual initial raw material, there might be more emissions in producing a plastic rather than उसको melt करके directly. So this simple example of plastic can clear your understanding. This is a simple question, and I think A is the answer. Yes. Now moving on to the last question of today. Capital receipts create a liability or cause a reduction in the assets of the government. Capital receipts, yes. Loan is a capital receipt, is form of extra territorial loan. External borrowings, sovereign external borrowings are part of capital receipts, and they create a liability. Yes, borrowings and disinvestment are capital receipts. Yes. Interest received on loans creates a liability of the government. No, interest is a revenue receipt. वो आ जाता है and that will be consumed by the government. You are not again liable to pay to anyone on the interest you receive on some loan. So ये भी इकोनॉमी के बेसिक्स है. इवन 11th या 12th NCERT में मिल जाएंगे, इवन 10th NCERT में शायद मिल जाएंगे. There is this topic in Shankar Ganesh, basic static question. It is for option A. So this is about today. We have solved 40 questions. Tomorrow we'll solve from 41 to 60. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.